Global Tel Link prepaid call from
James.
an inmate at Southern Correctional Institution. This call will be monitored and recorded for customer assistance. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello.
Hello? Baby, come in this room and lock the door. Drop that nightgown to the floor. Baby, I wanna love you, love you, love you all night long. Why body sing a sweet love song.
Good job.
Yeah.
Wow, what an introduction. Hi, James.
Hi, James.
This is Patricia. How are you?
Hi,
This is April. How are you?
I'm great.
Good.
I'm doing well.
Good. Really quick, James. So we read your letter. You wrote in, you wanted to talk about discrimination in the prison and cruel and unusual punishment. James, could you give us just a little bit of your backstory before we get started?
Sure. Well, in 2006, I was incarcerated for first-degree murder. I've been incarcerated for 18 years on a life sentence. During my time in prison, I've experienced all kinds of unbelievable, cruel, and unusual punishment, from police brutality to lack of nutrition on trays to inhumane conditions as far as heat and being cool in the summertime, heat in the wintertime, being locked in a cell for over 36 months at one shop without no relief, limited outside recreation.
Okay, wait,
things of
James.
that nature.
Sorry to interrupt. Just really quick, I want to break some of this. That was a lot. Let's unpack some of this. So, as far as the discrimination goes, could you tell us maybe a personal experience of a time that you felt discriminated against, maybe from a guard?
Yes, one right. Recently, when I was at Tabor City, I experienced discrimination by a female guard, a sergeant, where I asked for gloves to clean my toilet, and she told me to use my bare hands to clean my toilet. And I had just seen her hand gloves to another inmate. And I told her, I said, I'm going to use the gloves to clean up. And she told me, she was like, you can use your fucking hands and clean your toilet. You don't need no gloves to clean your toilet.
Talking about the cruel and unusual punishment within the prison, let's talk about the shower situation, because we've had other inmates talk with us about public showers and the abuse that happens within the shower. Do you have to take a shower with everybody else, or can you take one inside of your cell? And do you feel like the assaults happen within the shower?
Nah, I mean, you can take showers by yourself, but you have people that ass bandits and they're predators. They're sitting watching some guys that they feel weak, that they can get an advantage on, and they'll go in the bathroom behind them if they're not paying attention. So you got to be willing to fight for your ass at times. It's not like that now because of PREA, but there was a time that guys would go in the bathroom behind you and have a knife. They'd pull their knife and be like, blood on my knife or shit on my dick. What do you want to do? It's your choice.
What? Okay, hold on, James. Don't repeat that. James, where are the guards? They just come up behind you like this, and where is protection?
What do you do?
I mean, so you got to understand, the guards only make rounds every 30 minutes. And, you know, some of the guards are just as scared, if not scarier, than the inmates. So when you don't have no guard, nobody else to save you, you got to be willing to die for yours. You know, it's either way fight or flight. It's either way give it up or fight. And, you know, you can't always depend on the police to save you in here, because this is not a place where, you know, the police is always around.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
Okay, so
You got to understand this is a
I'm just trying to understand. We have two naked men right here. Now we just fight. Do I take my shank to the shower? How do I survive in the shower?
okay. Like I told you now, I come in here almost 20 years ago. Back then, yeah, you take your knife to the shower. You take your knife to the shower. You don't come out of the shower without your shoes on. You don't take your boxers off in the shower until you're finished washing, and you take your boxers off. You throw them in the dirty clothes after you come out and get fully dressed. You go in fully dressed. You leave out fully dressed. You keep your boxers on for this purpose that we're talking about here. If somebody comes in that shower, whether they're trying to rape you or whether they're trying to assault you for another reason, you know, you got to be ready. This is not a place where you walk around comfortable at all times. This is not your. Some people do make it their home, but this is not home.
What does the
This is not
shower
a
look
place
like? Can
where
you
you
tell us
walk
what
around.
this looks like? Is it like you got a door you can close, you got a shower curtain, or is this just open? People walk in
No,
and you're just in there.
nah. The shower when you walk in, it's got brown um a brown plastic part at the bottom, and at the top about chest high from the bottom of your chest up. It's clear, so you can see a person's head and maybe a portion of their chest, but you can't see them naked. And you know, this is how it's always been. There's never been no doors.
Okay.
Some places
Okay.
you got just like on the wall, you got 6 or 7 shower heads and they're lined up with no partition, and it's just an open shower. There's 6 shower heads on one side, 6 shower heads on the other. And, you know, you got 6 men on both sides lined up washing. And there's no protection, no petitions, no nothing. It's just straight raw footage. You're getting butt asses in the shower. You wash and you mind your business. You mind yours, they mind theirs, and you get out. Most of the time, when you have, you know, these predators preying on somebody, they're going to wait till they catch that person in the shower by themselves, and they'll go in there with them. You know, like I said before, that's why you always have a shower buddy. You got somebody that you can trust to, you know, go in that shower with you that is going to have your back and you got their back. You know, it's kind of like you and April.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all were partners in this thing that y'all doing, this program. So y'all's going to have each other's back.
I
And
got
that's the
your
way
back
it
in
I
the
need you
is
to have my
shower.
here.
back in the shower.
You know,
The things that
and
are found on
sometimes that's
Canteen, are
really,
they just type like high sodium type things? You know, it wouldn't be like an actual meal that you could get from Canteen, right?
It's not like Chick-fil-A or you can go out and get
nah,
KFC or
nah, you're not getting a Chick-fil-A. Okay, you have hamburgers it's called a big ass hamburger, a big AZ.
a big ass
So
hamburger.
that'll run you like, yeah, it's big AZ, a big ass hamburger.
Okay.
So that'll run you like $3.50 just for the hamburger. Then you get, if you want a box of fries, that's going to run you like $1.50.
But if I
So,
worked all
you
week,
know, you're
making
allowed,
$2-something a week, I still can't even buy me a
yeah,
hamburger.
No, because you're gonna need that deodorant that he said.
Oh
yeah, you got
man,
to make
You
a,
gotta choose which one
okay,
you want to eat or you want to melt your stuff off.
I don't know.
I'm gonna melt my stuff off.
This
yeah,
decision's too
you
hard.
Actually, I'm gonna smell because that's the defense mechanism. I'm gonna eat.
yeah, you got to choose. It's hard for somebody to choose in between, you know, do I want to get me some coffee because I like to drink coffee, or do I want this deodorant?
Is the
Or,
food
you know, do I
fresh at the
want this
canteen?
coffee?
Like you said, a burger and fries. Is it like, oh, it's coming off the grill, or this is in a package? It's been sitting there for a week.
No, 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 no. This is packaged food. You know, this is dry sealed food. You know, like You go like if you go to the convenience store and you look in the little cold food section at the convenience store, that's what you're buying.
Got it.
You know, you're buying this type of food.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, you got to think, like, my family told me the drinks, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, you know, things like that, they're 70 cents, 72 cents in prison. But out there in the world, they're like almost $2.
So really,
you
you're
got some
dependent.
things that's really cheap.
You're dependent on the cook at whatever prison that you're located at to be a good cook. That way, you can have something close to a home cooked meal because you can't get that off canteen.
So, hey, James,
Hello?
really quick. So, hey, James. So, you said that if you don't have money for canteen, you have to go to the cafeteria and eat. So, basically, the inmates that don't have money or anybody funding them while they're in prison, they're having to go to the cafeteria to eat. So, they're basically.
Which is called chow.
Chow. So, they're basically relying on
Yeah, when they call.
a good meal at the cafeteria.
Chow.
Chow. Chow.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you don't have money, you're stuck with eating whatever they serve.
But James,
I mean,
what do you do
and
if
sometimes-
the cook don't like you and he sees you coming through the line?
Oh, well, you don't have to worry about that because the cook cooks for the whole camp. They do something called batch cooking. And you got a kettle that's like 1,400 gallons. And he cooks all the food in, you know, batches and pans it up and wraps it up. And it's put in a hot box. So when you come through the line, you're going to get what's in that pan. So if he don't like you, who cares?
So he can't
You're
spit
gonna
in
get
yours.
whatever he put out.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, really, they can't even see. Like now, they got. It used to be where people could see each other, but now they got it blocked off, and you can't see who's serving the food. You can't see who's getting the tray.
So this is like buffet. This is
They
like
just
Golden
push
Corral.
the tray down the line. No, nothing like Golden Corral. This is like the soup kitchen.
Did you say the
If you
soup
go
kitchen?
to the soup kitchen, yeah, the soup kitchen. If you
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
you're getting iced potato soup. You know, iced potato soup and a cheese sandwich and some canned carrots and an apple. You know, that's your lunch. You might get some tomatoes with some onions cut up in it and a bologna and cheese sandwich and a scoop of fruit cocktail.
What if you're allergic? Do they
And
make
maybe
a
some
separate?
spinach.
If I tell them I'm allergic, do they make me a separate meal? Do I get a hot meal?
But then the cook might know
Yeah,
that it's
you
yours,
can
and then
get,
he might spit in it.
You can get a special diet. If you're allergic, like you got some guys that's allergic to fish,
But
some
James,
guys that's allergic
could the
to
guy spit in
corn
it
or,
then?
Then
yeah.
I annoys you.
The
I
guy
mean,
could spit in it then.
Yeah, there's a possibility. I mean, there's a possibility because your name's on it. I mean, yeah, he could do whatever he wanted to do.
See.
I mean, I seen two dudes in the kosher cage at a prison. They were masturbating in people's food.
Okay, I'm eating
I
canteen.
mean, I've seen it. I
Are
mean,
you made to
I've-
eat it?
I've
Can you
seen
do
it.
another one? Can I get another tray? Do they let you get another one? What if your food drops? People have accidents. Can you get another tray?
Okay, if you drop your food when you're getting it out the window, yeah, more than likely the police will let you grab another tray. If something's wrong with your tray, say there's a hair in it or, you know, something's missing off the tray, they'll just tell you to throw it in the trash and you can grab another tray. North
Okay.
Carolina made $152
James.
million last year off the back of inmates. Yeah.
Dang!
Say that number again.
North Carolina made $152 million profit off of enterprises off the back of inmates last year, 2024. How I know this? I worked in the enterprise sewing plant at Tabor City. And I've seen them. They make Geico vests. They make officer pants, tactical pants, and they sell these pants. They make them. They pay an inmate maybe 30 cents to make 4 pair of them, and they sell a pair of these pants at $90 a pair.
Labor
Okay,
laws.
well, James, we want to know about medical care now because medical is important.
That's important.
How accessible is medical care?
Okay, medical, you get the bare minimum. You know, I wouldn't recommend nobody to ever get a surgery by the state of North Carolina if they can help it. But, you know, at the bare minimum, if you have a toothache, they will address it, but you're going to go in there and you're going to get the bare minimum treatment because they're going to give you some antibiotics if you got an abscess, and when that abscess busts, goes down, they're going to pull that tooth. They don't cap teeth. They don't really like to fill teeth, but they will prefer to pull all your teeth. If you get dentures, they are very low grade. They look like you got some clown teeth in your mouth. They're sticking out of your mouth. And guys complain.
In the prison facility, is there a clinic? Are you saying they have to escort you out of the prison, take you to the hospital or whatever to get treatment? If I need medical care, I feel I'm shaking, I'm about to pass out, I don't know, something's wrong, somebody assaulted me, can I go somewhere in the prison and get help?
Yes, you can go to medical, and the medical staff are, you know, they're nurses. You have a nurse practitioner, which is right up under a physician. But they're on call during the day, they're not on call at night. You have nurses that's on call and med techs that's on call during the night hours. If something happens to you, say you were to fall out from having a stroke, so they would call a code blue. And when they call that code blue, the nurse will rush down here, they'll put you on a gurney, rush you to medical. Now, when you get the medical, the nurse may take the proper procedures and get you to the hospital and get you proper medical treatment, or they may tell you, hey, go back to your block. And on your way back to your block, you may have a heart attack and die. Or, you know, if the doctor or nurse that sees you takes proper medical treatment, they'll get an ambulance up here and get you to the hospital and get you proper treatment.
Okay.
But it's all in who you're dealing with.
Got it.
All right. Now, moving on to another form of cruel and unusual punishment or treatment for that matter. Have you ever experienced verbal or physical abuse from prison staff?
If so, give us an example.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And there was a situation where I was on lockup. I had been on lockup for 24 months for having drugs and
expand on what lockup is.
Is that the whole?
Lockup is long-term confinement. You're locked in a room 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
What would put somebody in
365
lockup?
days a year. Okay, like I told you, in my situation, I got into an altercation with staff, and I beat the staff up, and I ended up on long-term confinement. And
how
now,
long were you in this long-term confinement that you said?
I was on long-term confinement at this time for 24 months. I stayed on long-term confinement for 36 months straight.
So
in this cell?
2 years you were in a cell, not
able
ever
to get out?
Yeah, well, when you come out, you go out to something that we call the dog cage. And it's built just like a dog kennel. It's a concrete dog kennel. And it's got a chain link fence on the top, and on the very front of it, it's got a chain link fence. But the rest of it is like about a 15-foot by 8-10-foot square or rectangle, and it's got cinder block walls going up like 12, 15 foot high, and it's got a chain link fence on the top that
This is
secures down.
outside. You're in the
And on the
sunlight.
front, you got, yeah, you're outside. You're outside.
So
And
for over
you're,
2 years, you're in this cell, and the only time they let you out is to go out to this, basically the dog cage. What about showering or eating or anything? Where do you do that at?
well, you eat all your meals is served to you through the trap in your room. You are took out of the shower. When you go to the shower, you are handcuffed with your hands behind your back, shackles on your feet, and escorted to the shower. When you get to the shower door, they take the shackles off. You step in, you squat down, and you stick your hands out the shower door trap, and they take the cuffs off of you. You are given approximately 10 to 15 minutes to wash, and then they come back, recuff you, reach after you, and escort you back into your room.
And during that time, are you in there by yourself?
Yeah.
An inmate at Southern Correctional Institution. This call will be monitored and recorded for customer. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hey, James.
Hello?
So before we got cut off, you were talking about basically being in solitary confinement, extended stay in the hole for over 2 years, being
Yeah.
confined to this cell for over 2 years. And I just need to ask you about your mental status during that time. Do you feel like extended stays in solitary or the hole for that amount of time is beneficial to the inmates, or do you feel like it is cruel and unusual punishment? Like when you get out, how is your mental?
Exactly.
Okay. When you go to lockup, it takes a toll on your mental and emotional, and it destroys relationships. It destroys friendships with your family because you're away from your family. You can't talk to your family. So when you're locked in this cell and the only thing you have is a pen and some paper and some books and maybe a radio, and you know, you have to find things that really keep you sane because you can easily lose your mind back because you don't have nobody or nothing. These are some of the most desolate times that a man could go through in his life, or a woman for that matter. Forgive me for forgetting the lady, because they go through the same. But these are the most desolate times. You know, when a person is cut off from everything and they're thrown in that cell and all they have is that. And it's not helpful, it's not beneficial unless you can get material to read. And, you know, now the way the mail
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
is, and we're not able to receive physical mail, and it's so hard to get mail, you really do some hard times because your mind goes to wondering, well, what's going on with my mom? I haven't heard from my mom in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with my girl? What's going on with my brother? What's going on with my kids? Have they gotten a wreck? Have they died? What's going on? You know, these things go through your mind. You know, you begin to break down.
So basically, your only
And
form of
you begin to
communication during
think,
that time, James, is you have to write to your family and friends.
yeah.
What
And
if you're
see,
illiterate and you
we're just
can't read or
getting,
write and you don't have any assistance?
Yeah,
What do you
that's
do?
a
Do they
good
assist
point.
you?
I mean, you're just stuck. You're just stuck in your own world. You know, you're
Oh
just
my
stuck. If
gosh.
you
No,
can't
that's
read a
cruel and
book,
unusual
if
punishment.
you can't write, you have nothing. I mean, yes, it's very cruel. It's very unusual. I mean, there's mental health patients that go back there and spread feces all over the walls. That spread feces all over themselves. I've seen guys literally go back there and lose their mind and kill themselves. You know, I've seen guys that, you know, they pulled their hair out. They, I mean, you're talking to me, and you may not think that I have a mental health problem, but I have a mental health problem from being in confinement. This has took a toll on my mental health. This has took a toll on me dramatically because when I come in here, I could have never fathomed of being locked in a room behind the door, not being able to get out. I couldn't have fathomed not being able to go to the refrigerator and grab a bottle of water or cracking an egg, cooking an egg. Something as simple as walking outside barefooted, taking a breath of fresh air. You know, when these things are snatched away from you, it changes you. It changes
I'm
you
sure.
either for the good or the bad because it can turn you into an animal. It can turn you into a person that just don't give two fucks about nothing. And all they think about is destruction. Or it can break you to the point of you losing your mind.
And that's where the term
Can,
being institutionalized comes from.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, after all the years
yeah,
that you've served, James, do you feel like you're institutionalized?
to an extent, I am institutionalized. If there's a person that comes in here and says they're not institutionalized, they're telling you a lie. Because the institutionalization starts when you come in here and you start living by their routine. You eat on their schedule. You go outside on their schedule. You shower on their schedule. Everything you do is on an institutional schedule, so you become institutionalized. Your mental is set for that schedule. And, you know, that's like every morning at 7 o'clock, I'm up out of my bed. Why? Because I know that's the time I get my tablet. And that's the time my tablet comes on. I don't see no need to get up before then because I don't go to breakfast. But when it's time for that tablet, that's my pacifier. That's my babysitter. That's what keeps me sane, to be able to get on that tablet and call my family.
James, backing up a little bit because we did get off on a little bit of a tangent when I asked the question, have you ever experienced verbal or physical abuse by prison staff? We kind of got off onto a tangent there about the cruel and unusual treatment of solitary confinement.
Yes.
But can we circle back and can you give us an example of an experience where you have had prison staff verbally or physically abuse you?
I've been cursed at. I've been called little Indian bastard. I've been called outside of my name. I've been called every curse word that you could possibly think of by staff at one point or another. And I'm not saying all staff are bad, but there are some. But in one particular incident, as I told you, I was on long-term confinement for 24 months at the time. And we had an issue where the maintenance people lost their keys. So they asked everybody to come out of the cells. So we come out of our cells, we were in waist chains, handcuffs, and shackles with a black box that goes through the handcuffs, and your hands was chained to your waist. And we were escorted out of our rooms into holding cells. And when I was coming back, there was a white paper bag that I received from Canteen. And to let everybody know, when you go to Canteen and lockup, you can only buy stamps, batteries.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
And earplugs, and oil. You can't buy up to 5 or 6 items off of the Canteen when you're on lockup, on long-term confinement. So when I go back in, the Canteen bags laying there, and I use those Canteen bags for my trash can. So I take my foot and I slide the Canteen bag back in my room as I'm walking. And it was empty. There wasn't nothing in it. And the officer he seen what I was doing, and he took his foot and kicked it on in the room. But the sergeant that was escorting me, he pushed me into the door going into the cell. He tried to slam my face into the door. And when he did, I turned my head and I hit my shoulder. So when he did that, I reacted. And I took my chest and pushed myself back off the door. And when I did, he pushed me in the cell and he took his foot and stuck between the shackles and pulled my feet from up under me. So I fell face first into the concrete. But when I fell, I hit the side of my face instead of hitting my face, my mouth, and my nose. So when I fell, I'm on my stomach with my hands behind my back in handcuffs with a black box on, chained to my waist, and shackles on. So the sergeant takes and lays on my back with his arm and sticks it in the back of my neck, sticks his feet in the shackles, and stretches me out. And other staff members begin to beat me. And they beat me, and, beat me up pretty good. They let me, put me in the cell for a little while, took the shackles and cuffs off of me. And, that was it.
James, oh my
Hello?
gosh, you have literally spilled the tea in this episode.
Definitely.
I feel like I've never been to prison, jail, but I feel like I learned a lot. This is prison 101.
Yes. I'm not going to say that
Yeah.
I'm ready because I'm definitely never ready to go to prison, but I think that you prepared us for it.
You did. You did a great job explaining that.
Okay. Well, I hope that neither one of you ever have to experience this, because this is a life-changing and very traumatic experience. That this is my first time, and if I'm ever blessed, it'll be my last time. I'll never come back to this place. I don't know how a man or a woman could get out and experience some of the things that I've experienced and want to come back to this place.
Yes.
For 17 years and some months, almost 18 years, I've dreamed of having the opportunity to share my story.
Yeah.
And the platform that y'all give us, as far as inmates in prison, to be able to speak out and tell our story and let people hear, the struggle, the pain, to understand what really goes on in here, is amazing. Because a lot of people have the misconception that, oh, they're in prison, they got everything that they need. No, you don't have everything you need, because there's a man or a woman in here tonight that's going to lay down and they don't know nobody loves them. They don't have the food. There's somebody that laid down tonight that's hungry.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
There's somebody somewhere being beat right now in a prison. There's somebody that's laying butt naked in a cell with no clothes, no mat, no covers. There's somebody somewhere suffering right now, whether it's mentally, physically, or emotionally.
And we thank you for that.
We do, because a lot of these things are very difficult to open up and express, and you did it in such a courageous way. You walked us through it. I felt like I was living it with you. I could imagine everything that you were saying, and I am so happy that you were able to do this interview with us, and we're so thankful. And just keep pushing forward, James. And you sound like you're a really nice person, and I don't know what your case is and what you have against you, but I hope that you're able to get out someday and experience some of the things that you've expressed you want to experience. You've done such a long stretch in prison.
Yeah. So if God has it in his plan and this in his work, I'm going to walk out of here someday. And I would like to come back and do more on my case, and let people understand my fight on that side. if y'all would have me back, and if people out there in the world would like to hear about, you know, my 18 years of litigating my case.
Absolutely. We would love for you to come back.
Uh-huh.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.